I'm glad someone is filming. I'm here with no camera. So film us, right?
Yeah, I can only stay till about 6. I have a show at 7.
There it is. Corey printed it out. So.
Thank you, David.
All right.
Just hope that I'm fun to lose it when I go back.
I thought so.
I did. I haven't yet, but there's always today, right? Yeah, of course.
You're good.
Right.
All right, okay.
I don't have a tab. I
Not even separate. 6 degrees of extension.
Exactly, right? You just saw the yellow. I know. Yellow.
So many times I get the green button.
Oh, there's a no. Yeah. Okay,
And you just have a bite.
Oh wow! No, you guys must be so tired, right?
Oh, yeah, she wore that a lot, actually. Yeah, take that. It's pretty.
I know they really are. You know, I'm gonna give them a
Whoops, hello.
How are you? Don't worry about it. It's fun.
Yeah, you too, Julie. I'll see you in a bit.
I figured I'd wear something red for Barbette.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I don't have anything red, so these are the only things that I own that are red.
Great.
Oh yeah, she loves. They were her favorite. Oh yes, she saw them. Too large. You're definitely wearing your lipstick.
Yeah. So, well, when Julie was there, I would like. I would, yeah. And I mean,
Is it clean? Yeah, I've been looking. No, and you know what? This one, no, I wouldn't bother. But I have one from the store down in Kensington, really nice one, and I can't get it. I want to get it clean, and I want to get it whatever, and I cannot find a place to do it. There's a one that makes hats. Like, it's a really nice one. Like a little pork pie, right? Really nice. And it collects dirt. Like, this is just cheap Steve Madden from or is it like it's polyester or something like that? Repels water.
Like your hat. Like your hat.
Oh, thank you.
That's a Steve Madden hat.
But I have a couple of that have pork pies. There's a picture in here.
Every airport I go to, I go to
the what? Oh yeah.
I had three. The original one didn't have that much flavor.
Hey. Right.
Hi guy, how you doing?
And then I got this one from and I got one
Oh, really? That store up the street, though.
Where?
The one it's below
Nassau. It's on this side of the street, okay? And if you go in the shop, it's got like a lot of sunglasses out front. Yes, it's on Augusta. Yeah, it's on the east side, right? East side. Okay. Yeah, and it's beside, like, you know, the Chinese people that sell the sunglasses forever. Right beside there, slightly north, the next shop north, you go in the store, he's got really good hats. But it's in the store, it's not on the street, it's in the store. Yeah, he's got really, really good hats.
Where's that at?
Huh?
Where's that at?
Oh, it's on Augusta. The sunglasses people on the east side. The sunglasses people, Chinese sunglasses people that have been there forever. The shop just north of them. You gotta go in. They're not on the street. The good hats aren't on the street.
I had a great straw hat I used to carry with me when I went fishing and traveling. It was black, but a straw, and you could fold it and put it in the jacket pocket. And then it would pop back up when you take it out and hold the shape.
Oh, nice. Wow, a straw hat.
The ocean stole that from me.
Oh,
No, not that.
no.
You know where that was.
I do. When you going back? When you going back?
Well, the girls are going down in January.
The girls.
Yellowknife.
Yellowknife.
They're going in January.
Yeah, no kidding. I would get out of Yellowknife in January too. Oh God, it's horrible.
But they just came back from the evacuation.
Yeah, everybody. I know. I have a girlfriend in Yellowknife. She's a nurse out there. Anyways, they didn't evacuate.
They had to stay.
They toughed it out.
But now, today, the smoke is actually in the
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just really
Oh, really? Oh,
like that. It's that heavy. You need it.
Yeah, I wonder.
They have a big firewall that goes over.
Yeah.
Most of the places in modern day Yellowknife are big concrete buildings. But in Old Town, this is where my friends live. All log cabins and wooden structures.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
I always say, I don't even know. Skeptical about it, but it's real.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where either. But yeah, that's tough. So it's forecast to be really hot this winter over there, right? It's an El Nino year, so the jet stream dips, so we should get a cool fall, but they're going to get a really hot fall, so the fires go on and on.
Because Maryland is sharing New Jersey. Hopefully,
They said 5.
because it's very difficult, very good friends. Supposed to say she has cancer or something, so she couldn't go. So right away, it cost us a little bit more because the three of us were sharing the place. But you have to, you have to watch the you start. You tell them you need sleeping for 4 people.
It's 4 beds in 1 room or something stupid.
There was 4 beds in 1 room. And all 4 of us are over 60.
Right.
None of us are climbing up any damn bunk bed.
No, not that drunk anyway. Not by the time you go to bed.
I tried one night. What? I tried one night up in the bunk bed. We had the 2 bunks. Young lady, and Jerry was supposed to, she got sick, so she was immediately. And I tried to, I'm diabetic, I have that.
Oh, God.
No way I'm climbing down the ladder. So I took the 2 top ladders and put it on the floor, and that didn't, I couldn't get up off the ground.
Oh, my God.
They were like sponge, and it was so hard on the back.
Oh, it would be. The beds in Costa Rica are the worst. They really are the worst.
Not where I stayed in 2019. This year, I didn't sleep in my bed.
Right.
But,
Hey, Reg.
Take a look. Take a look.
And I
Inside and out. All of it.
As long as I don't have to carry you.
This is Samara, eh? It's expensive. So we're gonna go to the Pacific Coast this year. Yeah. So in October. 22 days. I think it's 22 days. I'm leaving.
I would be so happy to do that. That lady, get October.
19 days. Oh my God, it's nice. What I'm wearing is oh my God. Yeah, so I'm going to, on the Caribbean side, I'm going to this kind of hippie, hippie. I'm going to learn how to basket weave. I'm going to learn how to pick fruits from very tall trees.
I tried making a hat once on the fence.
Right? I should try making a hat. Yeah, that's the problem. Anyways, I don't think this place is elsewhere. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Anyways, so I might be very strict to the streets. Making a hat, all fidgety. Anyways, so I'm gonna go do that and learn how to thatch roofs and stuff, which is Jamaican style.
My friends did big this year they came over here because the floor of this place you know, in the afternoon, rain or something, you sit in there and but my sight was getting so bad. I couldn't just sit like this. I couldn't read the cards.
Here's your glasses. I've got bifocals.
They wouldn't. My vision was so bad. Last week I got so now I can read it. I can read the island signs. I mentioned.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's the first one. In November of but the thing is, what I did, they turned around and they said, once you get the vision, I'll get glasses.
Yeah.
Like I can read now from here to there, I can see everything clear.
Yeah.
Driving my nose crazy.
What's that?
I can drive my nose.
Oh, I think it's allergies. I've been sneezing like nuts. Yeah, I'm not sick. I just like stuffed up and stuff. You lay down in bed and your nose gets stuffed. Yeah, there's allergies. Definitely, there's some pollen in the air. There is some pollen in the air. Yeah.
Because I have this room my TV. I took the air conditioning out, but I didn't have it done. So this leads to it. That's right.
Was it a bee or a wasp?
All right.
Oh yeah. They're all right.
I had the door closed the rest of the place. So it's just I look at it and I say, I know you're trying to get money.
Yeah. They get disoriented.
I said hi earlier.
I'm saying hi back.
Oh, excellent. That's very nice of you.
And I managed to walk it out the side.
All good.
And you know, it's not doing us anything. I've gone to parties this summer where so many things. And they have about,
That's good.
I see them coming around my beer. And I cover it, go all around trying to get it. That's why you feel
We're a little in a cab.
you know,
Have at it.
give it a straw. I know I can see them even clearer now.
Nice. Nice.
I can do this with beer. I don't have to smoke it.
Nice. 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 Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna look at the properties, make a decision. But before we make the final decision, we're going to go over to the Pacific side, Uvita. We're not going to Samara, we're going to Uvita. Check out Uvita. Samara is very, that's Guanacaste, it's very built up at this point. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Guanacaste is insane. Guanacaste is insane. And it's big waves. So we really want, anyways, Uvita has the whale tail sandbar, right? So it's supposed to be okay for swimming, like not as big waves. Like the Pacific side, big waves, right? The Caribbean side, I mean, there's some waves, but I don't think they're as big as Pacific.
People in summer, a lot of surfers, especially the beginners.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, the water is so shallow, you fall off the surfboard and it hurts like hell.
Yeah, because you get dragged on the bottom.
I've been rolled around on the boogie board, left, right, sideways till I stopped.
Right.
Up to a couple of years ago, Maryland, who was here and I started boogieing across the lake there. It worked out some years ago when the lake stuff like this going on.
Right.
Her husband would be lying on the blanket
Yeah.
and her and I'd be out there body surfing.
Right. She's got more air in her lungs. More air in her lungs.
You know, I get in a wave twice as big as her when I go somewhere to see. She gets in a smaller wave and smaller wave.
It works.
We have some fun. I think one night this year when it was the last day before I left, March, all the traveling musicians from this part of the world, they have a big party. So we went to it, surprisingly, it ended up being at a little roadside shack that I stop off when I go fishing. I go early in the morning, and I walk maybe 5 miles. And catch nothing, turn around, walk back, and halfway back, I have to cross the here. So this little shack ends up being exactly where So when I had it hello there. Good. How you doing? But it was so well done. It was fried till it was crisp.
Oh God, the snapper, the fried snapper down there. I know. They give you the whole thing. It's perfectly fried. It's like crunchy and juicy inside.
The whole darn thing was so good.
Oh yeah, so good.
But I bought from the guys coming in fishing, and I didn't give you snapper. I saw one day, I got to the fish market at the same time, and I said, but they were unloading a red snapper from the back of a pickup truck. It was like about 5 to 6 years long.
That wasn't a grouper?
Well, it was a snapper as far as they told me, but I bought half of that for next to nothing.
Oh my God.
And they and I came back and curry snappers, and 8 of us sat at the table and ate.
8 of you, holy shit.
The year I retired, I went down to I stayed at Philly's it? Tika, and then you run.
Man, how's it going? You alright?
Very good. Tika and then you run. This is the one that when you get it, you feel like you're in a dream because it sways with the wind. You know, if you're good at yourself, it's way back.
Right.
But we had a shared kitchen in 2019. And so I have brought really good Patroni. The girls that I hang around with, they brought it from Mexico for me, and I saved it for years. Thinking it would be perfect to celebrate when I get to the I got there, I could have bought a bottle of but we opened it at our barbecue, and I grabbed the guy coming by one that sells fish, and I got about 10 kilos of shrimp, big shrimp, and another 5 kilos of fish, all clean, and we barbecued everything in a second. Wow. And everybody in the building, the coffee goes down so smooth. That's the best because I am and they're probably better, but that one just went into the slide down so nice.
Yeah, I like those tequilas.
I got a bottle of today I went to the good friend. This is the first time in 2 years that I've gone to visit his wife and her girlfriend. That when I stepped in the door, all three of us can start crying. You know, it brings tears. We were so good friends. And I was leaving. She had red wine, Bob Spitzer on it. And I don't know. So that one's not open until I get one.
Oh, good.
Because it's Marilyn, my friend in Yellowknife. She's the one that introduced me to Bob and Heidi and Corey. So she's in Yellowknife, so she can get to go to the celebration night. You little bugger.
My friend, I thought it was great.
Something like
Really?
maybe that's
Good that you're paying.
no, that wouldn't be If he's going to start to play back my short, this is later.
Okay. What's that? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Where were we last week? Oh, I was at Susie's. Yeah, I was at Susie's house.
2 years ago, and all of a sudden, she was a nurse at the shoulder. All of a sudden, after within less than 6 months, she's so sick. She had to bring her down. She had to go in and then she went back home. They came and picked me up last week so I could bring her down to here. I'm getting her, you know,
I need help. Sorry, I was at my girlfriend's house.
Heidi was there. All the way. You want to bring my LG phone? You know,
Oh, that's good.
next you say you're going to October.
Yeah.
You're going to miss my 70th birthday.
Oh my God. What? Oh my God. Wow. Happy birthday. Wow. Wow. Yeah.
showing up and see him.
Right. Right.
Or any of my family.
Right.
That's okay. Everybody else that I know are my family. They just don't be
Wow, you're still taking care of your mom and you're turning 70. That's incredible. She was in her 90s now. She started young.
Very young.
Yeah.
He had my sister, my
Wow.
New York City, we're just here now, so let's keep whatever we know. As we get older,
What's that? All three different fathers. Oh, yeah.
That's what makes us West Indian. It sounds bad, but you know, that's the way life is. And then there were 6 of them.
At 18 and 15, you're not staying with that guy. You may get pregnant, but you're not staying with him.
I ain't getting pregnant.
Well,
I can't say that
just
because,
say
you know, my wife, when I was married, she had her first at 16. But I married her. He didn't get married. Now, what I do, we decided that
You know what I did really well? I was there in April.
Yeah. Good for you.
That's it. But they get so my two oldest sons, one is 43, and the other one is 30. My daughter is 47. So they're not kids. I can't make them do anything to them. Don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. My grandson, my oldest grandson.
Wow.
Just check to see how the boys are doing. It takes a week or so. Oh, everybody is fine. We're fine. Okay, thanks, man.
So it's good you check in like that. They should check in on their dad once in a while.
I used to call and let them know when I was going up. She would always
She had a lot of friends.
I only know who I stopped doing.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm not going to be around for a week or two. So, you know, if they need to get out.
Powwow.
Yeah, wow. That sucks. That sucks.
It's good. I ain't never had that.
Yeah.
I keep telling my mom, I said, Mom, it's been 22 years since I was married. How you like 20 years? All the time, you know, we make up. Like, my biggest thing is I don't know what age I am before 35. How would you like
The stage, sir.
Sorry to be stealing your stage. Yes.
But because I live with her, I think she knows this. And she drives me nuts, but I'm not nuts. But I think she's noticed in the last couple of weeks. Right. You don't want
Yeah, right. Oh, mothers. I know. Mothers. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. It was good. Why?
But I didn't ask her how to do it.
Oh!
I asked her and sometimes I want to bake it down. Really not. She's sitting and getting
Right. Yeah, that's all you need, right? No wonder you didn't ask her.
the day I was turning around, I recognized something.
Oh my God!
I Googled it. I Googled it to show you exactly how to do it. According to the way I see it.
Oh, no wonder she was mad. No wonder. No wonder. I gotta guess around. I gotta guess around.
Dropped out. Summer school.
You dropped out of summer school. Don't you have to go to summer school because you're failing something?
Grade 11 summer school. Dropped out.
Wow. He knew he was destined for better things. Yeah.
Because he used to play in Winnipeg at that age, you know. So he was like a big rock star. And so he was in my summer school class.
Oh my God. Did he play music on the break?
I think he left.
Oh, right over.
Came to Toronto. His father lived in Toronto. His mother lived in
And he was from Bohemia, I thought.
I hate it.
Saturday at 4 o'clock at Kensington Market. Call that Gary? I don't know. I call it carry something on.
Walking. I'm going to go see a little empty piece of real estate. Sorry about that.
Excuse me or pardon me, but delete that word sorry.
You got it.
We're living in a time that's way too sorry. For itself mostly. I brought the father of motion picture sound to Toronto in 1980 for 3 days. And he taught me about the power of sound. Got 2 Academy Awards, 11 Academy Award nominations. Taught film sound at UCLA when he retired. Bernard Brown. He played first violin in the orchestra which accompanied the birth of a nation when it premiered in Hollywood in 1915. He was 16. Almost then, yeah. So I figured that film properly scored should be as powerful now as it was then. People writing on it said it had lost its power. But when you imagine showing 2001 with somebody recording on a piano. So he was at ground zero. So I had him here for 3 days, and I learned a hell of a lot from that man, more than I expected to learn. So we become what we say. When we say sorry, we become sorry inside. And sorry is worse than cancer.
Well, I used to live in Italy.
Excuse is fine. Yeah. Pardon me, but when you see someone saying sorry...
Trying to right a wrong, I was saying sorry. It didn't matter.
Yeah, but when you're going to say it, but just in your head go, this is a word I choose no longer to use. No, the crowd is younger than so we don't know. Well, that's what I learned from him.
Very powerful.
Yeah, and then without any effort on your part, your voice will naturally come from your diaphragm if it doesn't already.
We don't
We don't do a lot of things right.
The list goes on.
Well, this is part of the problem of our time. I reid Black Elk Speaks by John Neilhard. He interviewed Black Elk with the great Sioux shaman about the ghost wars. And he discovered he had more than, he knew a lot more than he realized, that Neilhard realized. So he wrote this amazing book. And Neilhard, Black Elk talked about how the sacred circle was broken. And I thought he was talking about something mystical in the sky. But what he was talking about was the generations. The young learn from the generation about to pass away. So they learn that life is tangible directly. And every generation grew up being taught by the generation about to pass away. That was the sacred circle. Now we've broken that completely. So the young no longer have that energy in them. They're out of step with time. This is global.
It's a shame, and it's a shame that we in North America see something wrong with intergenerational living. It's actually very bad.
No, it's the most powerful thing we can have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I used to live in Europe, and when I came back, my marriage was finished. I came back with my boys, and we had a home in Vancouver, but we decided to always rent it out. For a few more months, we decided to stay in Hamilton where my parents were. So just for a few months. And we stayed for 2.5 years because my father, my mother and father both beautiful. My father was a beautiful inspiration, an example to my children of love and friendship. Yeah. So that was never not very So how did you know more about
We said hello constantly on the street. I only knew her from when she passed me by on a bicycle or she stopped and said hello. I never knew anything about the rest of her life. I'm self-employed and I work in the arts. And that means that I'm doing when other people are going out. Yes.
But when you saw each other, it was a nice acknowledgement.
Always. No, and I was surprised when she passed. Because she was someone I thought would be around for a long time. But I went for my checkup with my doctor. I got a new doctor. He does the prostate and says it's a little larger. It's okay. Nothing to worry about. I go, excuse me. Let's take a look. So they do the PSA and everything else, and I find out it's level 6 cancer, which is the one you don't have to worry about. But without pushing them to do that, I wouldn't know that.
Right, yes.
They're not, it's not their life, it's yours.
Yes. Good point.
And anytime they tell you not to worry, start worrying. My sister's a retired nurse. Yeah.
Your sister?
My sister's a retired nurse.
Okay.
And she told me, no, you're okay, but you got to keep an eye on it.
It's good to know.
I'm in my gravy years. I'm 77, so anything over 70 is a bonus.
What's your name?
Reg Hart.
Reg.
You can Google me. You'll find a lot about me.
Oh.
I've got people in the city consciously doing their best to destroy me, so that means I'm doing something worthwhile. The Globe and Mail did a story on it.
It did? About what? What about
The fact that I've got people out to get me killed. Sounds completely wacko and paranoia, but it's true.
What did you do? Why don't they like you? You go against the grain?
Always.
You swim upstream? I like people like that.
Well, the dead fish go with the flow.
That's right.
The living always go against the stream. People say get with the program, go with the flow. I go, the dead only ones go with the flow. The living always go against the current. Rebellion is a sign of intelligence and having a backbone.
I like that very much too.
Yeah, I tell that to kids and they go, wow, I need to hear this.
Yes. Especially what's going on in the universities.
And their teachers say, you're a bad influence, you don't want them doing that. I go, yeah, well, you tell them that and they'll come more often.
Let me be the show and tell.
My high school principal told me when I was 18, he had the wrong attitude and got starving 2 weeks after I left school that day. So I got up and walked out of his office. And then through my work, I met Jane Jacobs, I met Judith Merrill, mother of modern science fiction. I met John Herbert, the author of Fortune Men's Eyes. I only met them, but we became friends. I brought Grim Natwick to Toronto in 1980.
How's it going?
Such a manly looking.
Grim created Betty Boop for Max Fleischer, animated the character Snow White for Walt Disney. He turned 90 in Toronto. I thought that man could live to be 100. Here he turned 100. I was piss-ass drunk. I got an ad from an animation magazine offering half price on ads for an industry special. I was flat broke. If I'd been sober, I wouldn't have done it. But I called them up and I bought the inside back cover. the whole cover. And I said, announce his birthday. They threw a huge party for him in Hollywood. I was out there for it. But I wanted to see what I could do with nothing.
Yes.
Except faith in myself and in God.
Yeah.
And I tell people that's all you need. Because you're born with that.
Right. Will and determination.
Yeah. You know that when after Jesus was crucified, the western doors in the temple in Jerusalem refused to stay shut, and the candelabra, the western candle in the candelabra, refused to stay lit. Now, what's in the direction of the west? It means the Shekinah, the glory of God, left the temple. Now, what was west? Rome. And that's where it went.
Well, you're quite the historian.
I'm interested in
Yes,
stuff.
you are. That's what keeps people young, too.
It is. It is. The more you are curious,
With new knowledge.
yeah, people go, well, curiosity killed the cat. It's a damn poor cat if it's not curious.
I know. I feel like curiosity is almost like a lost art these days.
Well, it's being drummed out of people.
Yeah.
No, you should
Or
always.
we do this thing on our phone. Well, I won't think for myself. I'll sit with Google. That's awesome.
Terrible shot. Sorry about that. You want a belt?
Almost.
Oh, no, that's okay. I have trouble with belts.
Oh, there she is in the velvet. Yeah. Wearing velvet. Yeah. Oh, with Mickey. Maybe
So what do you do?
as long as they don't hear you.
How are you? I design the flyers for my program, so I'm in advertising. And everyone in advertising told me that what I was doing was wrong.
Save it for today.
And I saw a copy of David Ogilvy's book.
Ogilvy Mather?
Yes. I forget what it's called. The first one. God, I reference it a lot. But I picked it up, saw it on the lawn, thrown out. Pick it up, bring it home, and read it. And it was a revelation because he was doing everything I was doing, and he explained why it worked.
Jesters are African
And he said
gray.
advertising is not getting the results
Gray.
it once
A
did.
bird that talks a lot.
I forget what it's called.
He's gray.
He arrived in New
He's gray
York with
with a red
$10
tail.
and built up Ogilvy and Mather. So he knew what he was talking about. He said, people tell you not to use copy on your ads because people won't read it. So the thing is, people interested in your product will.
You know what's interesting? So sometimes my friends and I get together, we'll just start seeing ad campaigns from like the 70s and 80s. That's ingrained in our brain, right?
Kid, yeah.
Yeah. But now, not so much anymore. There's a lot of brands that have jingles. And actually, one of my friends is a retired jingle writer. And and it is a lost art as well. It just doesn't happen.
I'm sorry?
I just do what I feel like doing.
Yeah.
Find a way to drum up the money to make it happen.
Right.
I brought Bob Classic, one of the great Warner Brothers cartoon directors, to Toronto in 1978 for 3 days. Not 1 day, 3 days. And
I want you to trip on
It's all right. No one ever used to have it.
I probably enjoyed that.
Sorry, I don't want to bug your music.
That's all right.
Rex, this is my friend Barb.
Hi, Barb. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Dog attacked the neighbor's dog before it. It's probably going to be out like $500-600 for the vet bill for them to check the dog out.
Yeah, they
for
say that.
and whatever else.
Strangling.
I got to read.
So anyway,
Yeah, I'll squeeze in. Will you squeeze past?
Just don't hurt anything's cause. I've done it twice.
Pass out and it doesn't bother you anymore.
Yes, it is. It is stressful.
Hey, everybody. Is that good?
I'm in 6 minutes.
Welcome, everybody, to the celebration of life. My thing, I don't know.
I can use the bathroom.
But, louder? Can you hear me now? Hello, Toronto. All right. welcome to the celebration of life for Barbette Kensington. Thank you everybody for being here. And I know there's going to be a lot more people, I should say right at the outset, that if we wanted to get a venue that would accommodate all the people who cared about and loved Barbette, that she loved, we'd have to rent out the frickin' Sky Dome or whatever it's called now. There might be a Blue Jays game, so we're doing it here instead. So having said that, I'm glad you're all here. I'm just going to say a quick word about Barbette and what she means to me, and then I'm going to have a number of other speakers, some musical performances, because I think what Barbette would want, and while I know there's still a ton of, residual sadness, and I haven't fully mourned yet, this should be a celebration, because this was Barbette's favorite place to come in the market, and all of her favorite people are here. I can see that from looking around, and that makes me very happy. So Barbette would want us to all have some communal therapy. So I'm just going to tell you, without going into too much detail, because there's a lot of other people who want to talk, and I mean this from the heart. Some of you know my mother, some of you don't, but if you do know me, you know, obviously I love my mom because she's my mom and I'm fairly biased, but she was and is the greatest social networker, and I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking about bringing people together for a sense of community, giving them a sense of their own value, not independent, but connected to other people. And my mom, Bev, who didn't know about that for long, but we love her, was the best at that. She never went anywhere. She could listen to a 5-minute conversation with somebody, and they would just think they were having idle chit-chat, but they might mention a concern they had or something that was, you know, they needed attended to. And the next day, my mom would give them an email and say, look, here's the person you got to call, and I'm going to hook you up with this person, and blah, 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 blah. And slowly over time, there is this great social network that has been created from one person. And I never thought I'd meet another person like that. Again, I'm biased, but it's a fact. And about 12 years ago, I met Barbette. And the first conversation I had with her was at the stoop. No surprise, I was having a beer. She came by on her bike. We had a brief chat. Didn't know if I'd see her again, never met her before. The next day she's talking to me, I can't even remember what it was, but I had something I needed attended to, and she was like, you should talk to this person, the other person. She did that very same thing. This grew over the years, and I got to meet so many people through Barbette who were here, awesome people. And I thought I had a rich life in Kensington Market. It is so much richer because of her being in my life. And I think about that all the time. The loss I feel right now is overwhelming, and this moment is the best I have felt since she passed. And I know that's because of her, and that's because of all of you. Thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it. Barbette had another side to her too, which was a wonderful thing. As much as she was a sweet and giving person who would bring two people together, if she really cared about you, and she cared about a lot of people, she could also be pretty blunt at times. I think some of you know that. I won't go into I won't go into the details of what happened, but I'm super awesome. If you know me, you know I'm super awesome at beating the crap out of myself. I don't need criticism forever. There's an internal dialogue that's just punch, punch, punch. So I went over to see her one day. She says, you know, you seem a little down. Come over to my place and talk to me. So I went over there, and I was going on and on about this and that, and I made a bad decision and blah, 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 and she literally interrupted me, and I'm going to swear now, I apologize. She said, literally, shut the fuck up. I was like, Barbette. And she looked at me and said, I'm sick of you giving yourself a hard time. You're a good person, and you need to stop doing that. Yeah, you make bad decisions, and this is also a quote, because sometimes you're an idiot, right? And at first I was a little taken aback, but I listened to her. And no joke, this isn't even that long ago, this is like 5 years ago. As I walked home, and it sounds corny as hell, but it's the truth, I said, you know what, she's right. Why am I beating myself up? Barbette's got a frickin' point, right? My point is, she made me feel better. She made me feel better on a daily basis. Even if I didn't see her that day, a lot of you know about her morning Facebook post, which was really just a pretty dry list of the things she was going to do. But the point was, Barbette was telling us, I'm going out into the world, and yeah, these things are mundane, but these are the little things that make my life better. And then you could look at your own life, and even if it was a mundane day, your to-do list was boring, you could say, yeah, this has value. right? She did that again and again and again and again. She got diagnosed with cancer. I happened to be with her the day she got the diagnosis, and a few other people were too throughout that day. I was devastated, and I was told it was stage 4 cancer, lung cancer, sorry. And I know what the timeline is usually on that, and Barbette knew it very well. And she looked at me, and it wasn't this naive half-glass full thing. She wasn't just trying to make me feel better, although certainly she was trying to do that. She looked at me and said, I'm gonna fight this, and you're all gonna help me. And she used the word all. I was the only one with her at the time. Okay, I knew what she meant. She meant this, okay? And the reason she was with us for another 15 months. She defied most of modern medical history by being here that long. And it wasn't just because she wanted to live for all of us, okay? And she did. I'm not going to say much more because I'm going to lose it, but I just want to say this. It's getting really crowded, and that's fine. It'll continue to be crowded. We're all going to let each other walk through and give space for people who need to walk through. We've got a bunch of speakers here, but I think it's appropriate that we're all here, and it is super crowded. There's space at Stoop B and Stoop A, as we call them.
Move the mic away from the speaker. To your right.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Forward. Barbette's second and third favorite place to be, so we can always go there. If it gets too crowded and anybody needs to sit down, we've talked to the folks at Tibet, like if you need a seat and you don't have one here, we want everyone to be comfortable. Feel free to go over there if there's room. We're going to have a bunch more speakers. We're going to have some great music. Barbette's favorite local band and a couple of her favorite performers are going to perform for us. And I don't know what else to say except that I love Barbette. I know we all did. I can genuinely feel her presence here. And I just thank you all for coming. And let's have a fun night. Let's mourn her, but let's do it in celebration. Thank you. Now, oh, sorry. Greer Coppins.
I want to share this story with you. It's about the power of advertising.
Greer is a very good friend of Barbette's. His band Taxi Chain and himself, they played a ton of times for her, and he's going to do a song and say a few words.
When I brought Bob Clampett here, Toronto yawned and said, "Who's he?" and let me know they weren't coming up. So it was a little tiny fanzine out of Minneapolis, Minnesota called My Rock Journal.
Who's Barbette?
$50 I bought you the centerfold.
Last time I saw her,
200 cartoons over 3 days, and a chance to meet one of the legendary animation directors. People flew in from Russia,
last time I see
Japan.
Barbette, and I went to Barbette, and she gave me that "don't be ridiculous" look. And she said, quote unquote, "I'm all right." Now, I walked away thinking that, you know, that she had another round in her, but I think in the bigger picture, she was saying she was all right. And I think Barbette could have led a master class in dying. She was positive all the way, and I think she, you know, circle of life, I think she saw it that way. Anyway, I thought about how, when I met Barbette, and I just really couldn't put it together. So in about 1981, well, there's some people here that'll clear it up for me, and Sue might be able to clear this up. 1981 or 2, when did the play turn into Amadeus? But I showed up in the Kensington market as a young man for the last year of the plate. George was the waiter.
It was still a Lisbon plate in 81, because that's when the TV opened up.
So I must have been there in 81. And I was kind of a student of life, and I'd never been to Kensington, and I was quite taken with all the characters as a young writer and musician and rascallion, and we used to drink our lives away on that patio.
I think it was 93.
And I was aware of her, she wasn't sitting on the patio, but I was aware of her as a Kensington character, because I was just kind of taking notes of all the incredible people that were in the market. And so that has to be when I first came across Barbette. And I think about, I want to sing her a song, and you know, Barbette's favorite song that I sang was called The Prince That Nobody Knows. And she loved the rise up, rise up, rise up and grow part. And I think she's risen up and growing now. But it's long, it's way too long. And I have a song about the market itself. Yeah, I had a lot of things to say about Barbette, and I had a hard time thinking of them. I think I would like to say this, that I'm humbled to be speaking here because I know there's people here that know her much better than I do and spent much more time with Barbette than I did, and I respect that. I heard a lot of her stories. I know some of Barbette's stories. Jimbo. She told me, she also, I know at one point in her life, she's been through many adventures and she had many stories about different things. At one point in her life, I think she grew up rurally, and I have a place out in the country that I mostly stay, and she told me about a year ago, she said, "Greer, you're starting to look like a farmer. You got those faraway eyes." And she told me that she had and somebody would know more about this than me, she had a lover or a boyfriend, or that they used to go to Gull Lake, I believe, up in Halliburton, and she said how much she missed it. She told me a few of her adventures, and we were talking one night about, anyway, Barbette knew a lot of people, and she's done a lot of things, and she was a delight to talk to. The other thing that she liked was it's going to make me resurrect this. We did a gig once a year called the Survivors Ball, where Taxi Chain would play and we call out the names of everybody we were missing. And I will definitely, that was her, the year I didn't do it, she was horrified. And I will definitely do it this year in her honor. So this was also one of her favorite songs. It's not quite as long as The Prince That Nobody Knows.
That's too much.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I like the way to walk through a crowd. Off to yourself, I wish that your thoughts were out loud. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Old leather boots and jeans that you wear, colorful scarves adorn your bright hair. As you're walking down the street, because you're lucky, you get to breathe all of the air that's under the trees. Because you're lucky, a meadow you'll walk, up through the pines to stand on the rock. Do 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 do. I really like this neighborhood. Misspent my youth here just because I could. Don't know how it was I could. $5 pints on the patio at the place. Find 20 bucks you could waste your day away. And you know that we would. Because I'm lucky, I've got to breathe all of the fresh air that's under the leaves. Because I'm lucky, I pulled through the fields into the highlands to stand on the shield. So many characters have come and have been. Think I see them on the street, I only see them in my dreams. They're still walking through my dreams. Because I'm lucky, I get to breathe all of the fresh air that's under the leaves. Because I'm lucky, a meadow I'll walk up through the pines to stand on the rock. I like your things in the place that you live, your homemade art and all your special gifts. You've got so many gifts. Your soft skin and the scent of your hair. On Sunday afternoon, reggae music fills the air. In the place that you live. Because we're lucky, we get to breathe all of the dank air that's under the leaves. Because we're lucky, we'll pull through the fields into the highlands and onto the shield. Because we're lucky, a meadow we'll walk up through the pines to stand on the rock and raise our eyes up to the night sky and watch that beautiful moon and the twinkle of her eye. Thanks, folks. I know that Barbette would like this to be a celebration, not a mourning, so please celebrate. And the other thing I was going to say about Barbette is I just want to fit it in, it was in my mind and I forgot. There's people that you do not believe died, right? This is a thing, this is a real thing. And you know, when Charlie Parker died, the bird lives. People did not believe that he was dead. People said they saw him walking down the street, right? I had a friend in the market, Tom Roach. When Tom died, he was a great friend of mine. I could not believe he was dead. I was sure I was going to go up to Taminar and drink coffee with him. I thought I saw him on the street for months, and he was still in my head. Barbette is certainly one of those people. I cannot believe that she's gone. She's still here. I walk through that alley, and I'm sure I'm going to see her right there. And here's the Barbette. We're going to ask Pat Life to come up to the mic.
Pat is the woman who, when Barbette got sick,
What's that?
was her health advocate and went to the hospital with her. Every time she went, advised herself, because a lot of it can be sort of tricky, advising teen on what exactly is going on with the treatment. Pat was her voice, and Pat was the person who gave Barbette perspective and gave her some strength to carry through it and fight as well as she did, and live as long as she did. So I think we should give a hand to Pat because she did an amazing job. And,
You can't stand in front of that speaker because it's
Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't stand in front of the speaker.
Don't
do what I
stand
did.
speaker.
Stand here, but
Learn
don't
from my
stand right
mistakes.
here.
Listen to Kim.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna set it up so that you can't actually.
Is it that?
I don't know if I should
know. Okay.
And then we're- yeah.
Hi. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
No.
I'm not supposed to kiss it.
Yes, yes, you
Turn it
are.
on.
Yes, you are.
Hold it closer.
A lot of time together since her diagnosis, through all her treatments and her CT scans and radiation and dinners and lunches at the powwow. I met so many of you through her, and I'm forever grateful for being able to spend that time with her. We got really close. And how close am I supposed to be?
Kiss it.
Jeez.
Kiss it.
All right. You guys have lots of stories of Barbette. I knew her for 8 years. Roxanne, my peer writer. We both wrote for Don't Believe a Word I Say, which is a blog site. And Roxanne was insisting that I meet Barbette. And I did. And we became really, really good friends, Barbette and I. Roxanne and I were already friends. And I guess I entered Barbette's life for a reason, I suppose. You all have lots of stories about Barbette, and I think the one, what was Barbette was to me, was somebody who saw you, who listened to you, who heard you. When she was talking to you, you were the only person in front of her. And I'm trying to, don't you start. Because then I'll start, and I don't. And that's basically what I've learned in the last 15 months with Barbette, is that she was a rarity in that she was always willing to help. We knew that. I mean, she was really her own coat of many colors. Am I in a rush? Oh, God. Okay. She was a frontline social worker. She was a dancer. She worked in the music business. She was a writer. She was so many things to so many different people. To me, she was very empathic. It was really hard to hide things from her, especially when I got news before she did. It was really hard. But she always sensed things, and she had a sense for people. People were her thing. Princess Margaret became her community, her special community. She would talk to people, she would comment on, she would compare bald heads. She would talk to people about what lovely hair they had, what a beautiful top they had on, that, you know, you should never walk this road alone. There were so many people going for treatment, coming in from out of town, that were alone. So she would always be sure to make friends. She saw and heard people, and to me, that was the essence of Barbette, was her humanity, and what she saw in people. And I loved her for that. She also tried to teach me patience, but wasn't very successful.
Oh, Lord.
I was hoping that her oncologist, Dr. Adrian Satcher, would be here with his partner. I haven't seen him, so I'm going to guess that he couldn't make it. He made a point of coming to see Barbette the day before she passed. He just said, well, I happened to be in the area, which was bullshit. He adored Barbette, and she thought the world of him. He was patient, he was kind. he listened to all her stories and understood that when you asked Barbette a question, there was no one answer. There was always a story behind it. And she loved him for it, he loved her, and I was so ever so grateful that he came to see her the day before she passed away. And she just looked at him and smiled and said, "You make me smile, you give me hope." So I was hoping he'd be here today and his team, but he's not. So I wouldn't want anybody to be going to Princess Margaret for any reason whatsoever, but geez, you know, ask for Dr. Satcher, because he was wonderful. She adored him, and I'm sure she spoke to many of you about Satcher. And I want to thank him. So that's really all I have to say. I will miss her.
We thank you.
I will miss her. I have the many butterfly gifts that she's given me over the past 15 months. And she will always be in my heart. I put together a little book of just Barbette. If there's a sample of it on the bar. If you want a copy of it, there's cards. You can order it. Oh, Anthony's got it there. It'll be up at the bar. It's 20 pages, and it's just memories of Barbette, only Barbette. So, and there's a, Anthony, can you get that for a second? I lost my husband to cancer it'd be 10 years, October 1st. And I put this him, and I'm now for Barbette.
You gotta hold it close. No one will hear it.
Okay, I'm kissing the mic.
Yes, please.
It's a poem that one of my favorite authors called Brian Andreas wrote. He's got some wonderful books out. Let me get through it. I still remember the day the world took you back and kept you for her own. And there was never time to thank you for the thousand scattered moments you left behind to watch us while we slept.
Thanks, Pat. David Hines, who's a good friend of Barbette's and one of her favorite musicians and singers, is going to come up and do a song and say a few words.
Yeah. Hi all. This reminds me of an afternoon at Lola's with Barbette. We're sitting right about there, next to Maxine. I met Barbette here.
I love that shirt.
Thank you. I was standing right here, playing away and taking requests. And she appeared at the rail right where you're standing, sir. She appeared at the rail and she was dressed beautifully, and first impressions are so strong. And my first impressions were, she actually made a request. She said, "I have a request," and I said, "Okay." She said, "The Dolphin Song by Fred Neil."
Oh yeah.
And
Fred Neil, man.
and I said, "Well, that's quite a request. That's a song I haven't heard requested since around 1970." And that's Barbette. And first impressions. My first impression held true. She was centered. She was real. She had an impish sense of humor. And she just glowed with love for life. And that was my impression. There's so much that's been said, I would just second. Everything Chris said, everything Greer said, and everything Pat said, I would second all that. So I'm not going to tire you out with that. I'm going to offer just one story. I was visiting her during the last little while in the hospital, And at one point, she had taken a turn for the worse, and I came in a hurry, and she said, as soon as I walked in the door, she said, "How was the traffic?"
Yep.
And I said, well, the traffic was okay, but let's talk about you. She said, well, somebody brought me some peach cobbler, and somebody brought me this, and somebody brought me that. She said, I'm so lucky. And then she said, what an idiot I am. She laughed about it. Anyway, so that's the only story I'm going to tell you about Barbette. There are so many. This is by Fred Neil. This is called The Dolphin Song. My first request ever from Barbette. Hab. And I guess I should say, I'm friends on Facebook and in real life as much as we have lately, with probably 30 or 40 people in front of me here, and with only one exception, Barbette introduced me to all of them.
You're fine. You're fine.
Sure.
Just forget about it, okay?
This old world may never change the way it's been, and all the ways of war won't change it back again. I've been searching for the dolphins in the sea. And sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me? I should have said this, I'm singing this for Barbette. I'm not the one to tell the world how to get along, but I know the peace will come when all this hate is gone. And I've been searching for the dolphins in the sea. Sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me? Sometimes I think about Saturday's child. Oh, and all the days when we were running wild, and I've been searching for the dolphins in the sea. Sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me? And we'll all think of you now and forever, Barbette. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Chris.
I was here 6 days a week selling that ready.
Nice to see you guys.
Chris, there you are.
Good
administrative interruption. This phone was found on the stairs, whoever's it is. Come and get it, or I don't know, I'm going to sell it. I'd like to ask up Donna Lipchuk. Donna is a longtime friend of Barbette's, fantastic writer. When I was the publisher of iWeekly, she was our star columnist, and she has composed a poem to commemorate Barbette. So she's going to come up to the mic wherever she is. Donna.
Can everyone hear me? Yes. Oh, good. Barbette would be so odd to see so many of her really good friends here, as we all know. When I first met her, I was in some personal distress, and she said to me, well, we have to go to the Weeping Alley. And for those of you who are in Kensington Market, you probably know where the Weeping Alley already is, but it's that alley that was right next to the old office, just straight up Kensington, and it has a lot of graffiti. And she goes, you know, this is where we all go to cry. So recently we've had a real reason to cry. And so I wrote, I am a poet, so I wrote Barbette a poem. It's called I'll Meet You at the Weeping Alley. Sorry, I get breathless. Long COVID. Seriously? Yeah, all right, real close. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is for you, Barbette, Kensington, wherever you are. I'll meet you at the office. We can see everyone we know. We can meet in the Weeping Alley if you need the tears to flow. I'll meet you at the stoop if you can't get me on the phone. I hope you made a good plan for today. Each day is just a loan. I'll meet you in the Weeping Alley, even if it's just to have a laugh. But first I have to feed the queen a little half and half. We have to go to Shoney's because I need a brand new hat. I'm going to be a little late because of a difficult bureaucrat. I'll meet you at the nadir, where the sun meets the sky, where the light from a mirrored building flashes a brilliant lie. By the gleam of life in our eyes and the hope in our every sigh, I didn't get the memo that it was now my time to die. I will meet you at the darkest place that I was ever in, and you can watch me play the odds that nobody ever wins. I will meet you beneath the tree, where I feed the tiny birds. This is a place so happy that there is no need for words. I'll meet you at the Moonbeam, and I'll have a cup of tea. And then I'll go across the street, and I'll play the lottery. I just won 40, lost 20, won 60, so that's $80 for free. I am such a lucky girl, I can barely conceal my glee. The secret of my longevity is to practice big denial. Just put on your red lipstick and wear a great big smile. You should never leave home without all your rings, money for friends, and other things. Luck is all about what you do, what you give, comes back to you. And that's pure Barbette, I think. I got the cedar in my shoes, the lucky tobacco in my purse. That condo that was Honest Ed's is really just a curse. Let's go to Malola's and get a group photo from some passerby. You know that it's probably really me if you hear a black crow cry. I'll meet you in those places, even though my spirit has flown. Remember to make good plans today. Each day is just a loan. I got a flying lesson, but I didn't fall off my bike. Instead, I flew to the stars in a stream of glorious sparks that lit up the sky in swirls of sparkling arcs that twisted like spires, tobacco smoke, and wrapped me in ribbons like a sacred cloak. If we ever get lost or separated, friend, know that it's really not the end. You know where we are supposed to meet. Meet me in the weeping alley, where life is always sweet. Barbette, I'm in that weeping alley, but I know I'm not alone, because I heard a familiar voice say, in the sweetest, softest tone, what a hot mess. Take care of your sweet self.
Donna, that was amazing. That was amazing. Last speaker before we make food available, which will be interesting, or we can all get to it, but yeah, we'll figure that out, is Sid Crichton, another longtime close friend of Barbette's, Kensington resident. And Sid, wherever you are, come up to the mic, please.
Okay, we're filming RuPaul's Drag Race here today.
Woo! Yeah, you won!
I don't
won! Love the fascinator.
I'm fascinated by the fascinator.
I know, hello.
I acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, I'm sorry, I took it from Google.
Oh, God.
The Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. And I am personally holding space for Blanche and Dave White, Indigenous mutual friends of mine and Barbette's, who are unable to join us today due to health issues. Barbette and I met online not that long ago, like 15 years maybe, I don't know. Thank you. On a website for old hippies. And back in the 60s, Barbette was a showgirl performing on the West Coast. And I was a feature upside-down go-go dancer at the Minor. We didn't know each other then. We were in different circles, but when we met, we just bonded. Just bonded. Now, Barbette tried to help me dress more like a girl. But I'll tell you her biggest success. When I stupidly remarried my ex in 2017, I really wanted to go like a jingle dancer because I have respected and loved the indigenous culture since I was about 8. But Barbette said, you can't, you're a white woman. And I said, I hadn't noticed. And she said, no, Sid, it's not because it's our culture, it's because it's part of our religion. And I said, okay. Then she went to Shoney's and found me the perfect white woman's jingle dress a week later. It was a 1960s bridesmaid dress from New York, a bougie salon. And it looked kind of like a flapper dress, but it had these long strings of beads on it. And the year before, right here at Lola, Barbette taught me how to shimmy with a broken leg. So I wore the dress, and it was my 5th wedding. It's hard to keep a straight face. So I shimmied all the way down the aisle and made Barbette proud. She really tried to make me into a lady, and as you can see, I can do it.
Bravo! Yay!
You have no idea how much it hurts, girl.
I'm impressed. Yay!
There's a few things I really remember about her. Excuse me. First, any time we were having our photo taken together and I put my arm around her, she went, "Don't touch my hair." And when I talk like I normally do, she'd go, "Oh my." The only reason I'm here today is because Barbette saved my life twice. A year ago to the day she left us, I had a critical asthma attack and my puffer was empty. We were on the stoop. She dragged me over to Toronto Western, and a block from there my lips were turning blue. I couldn't walk another step. And she was going through her treatments at the time, okay? This was 3 months after she got diagnosed, and she sat me down. I don't know what I was sitting on, but she ran into the hospital, got a wheelchair, ran back, put me in it, wheeled me right up to the pharmacy, cut into the line, and got me what I needed. The other thing she did for me, 2.5 years ago, I was the first new tenant of the Land Trust building at 5456 Kensington. I grew up in Forest Hill. I used to own my own home. I worked 2 jobs, but I'm the queen of bad choices. So I ended up at 73 sleeping in a parking lot. It's not that I wasn't paying rent. I was paying $1,000 a month, but the house was so violent. I felt safer sleeping behind a car in the parking lot. And maybe a month before it happened, she phoned me all excited and said, "Sid, start packing your stuff, you're moving." And I said, "Where?" And she said, "I can't tell you." And I went, "What?" And she said, "I can't tell you yet, but trust me, go get the rough totes, get it all ready." And immediately after the Land Trust took possession, she had me meet her in the market. I had no idea where we were going. We went up the stairs of death at 54 Kensington to a beautifully renovated studio in the back. And when we walked in, Barbette and I, our mouths just hit the floor. I mean, I've been in that building many times, but not in an apartment that looked like that one. And actually, for the first 2 months, I used to look at my cat and say, "I hope the real tenant doesn't come home tonight and take us out," because I could not believe at this age that I'd been saved. And, okay, Barbette never did make a real lady of me, but she changed me, and I'm a much kinder person than I used to be. I care about the people around me. All the love that I never got in 5 marriages, let's just call it that, I got in my friends here in the market. And so many of Barbette's friends are my friends and have made my life amazing. And I needed it so much. Now I'm 76 in 2 weeks, you know? I was a tough little bitch when I was 18, but that was then and this is now. And I just want to leave you with this thought. As the man behind the curtain in the Emerald City observed, your heart is not judged by how many you love, but by how many love you. Chimagwech, my darling. We all love you, Barbette. All of us.
thank you, Greer, and thank you, Sid. That was amazing. We now want to ask Les Harper and his dancer, drummer, and singer to come up for a traditional Indigenous observation and commemoration of Barbette. And then we're going to have food and everybody can eat and we'll continue to party. But Les, if you could come up. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Your leg. Mike. Terrific.
I was spunky little thing, but
Yes, you were. From Saskatchewan, but grew up in
Excuse me,
Toronto.
sorry, thank you, that's okay.
And my mother is Pauline Shirt from Saddle Lake. And she's somebody that works at the community still as this day. So I try to carry on the traditions through them, through their teachings, and pass them on. We have people like my friend here, Albert, the young man, just started these ways and knows these songs really well. So what we're going to do is an opening song first. When we do that opening song, we're just calling in those spirits, those thoughts, those great feelings to be with us. And that's where we'll be with that. And so, I want to extend this. for Barbette. I was very fortunate to know Barbette all my life. That's one thing. Barbette, we were saying that Barbette knew me longer, you know, because I didn't remember that long when I was a baby. And it was in the days of you just better sit down here. That's good there. When I was a baby, my parents used to hang out in Yorkdale, right? Yorkdale was the place to hang out there back in that day, and there was like Duke Redbird, Willie Dunn, all these great Indigenous leaders, men, and later on it came down to here. And I remember being a little kid in Grossman's, you know, just right around there, being in bars around here, not supposed to be in them, but you're in them, but it was allowed, right? And always growing up, seeing in the market, being such a welcoming place for so many people, a diversity, they understand. And the one thing I always loved about it was the only place I seen Indigenous people feel really welcome. That we were always treated well, looked at well, and especially we got a great relationship with the punks. And that's one thing I was always talking about with Barbette, about that, is that, you know, that connection Native people and the punks had, you know, looked after each other. You know, when somebody would be drinking a little too much, or they're just tired, you know, they're looking after each other, and that was a way here, right? And I was so amazed by that over the years. People I miss, you know, so many names, Nancy Woods, you know, people, you know, just go on and on. And it's amazing to see everybody here and everybody smiling, and that's, you know, what Barbette's like. That's the way we are. You know, we're warriors, you know, all of us. We've gone through so much. So much we've gone through, and we'll keep on going through more together like this, and being in our communities. How long has Barbette been around here? She could have been pushed out like so many other people, but she hadn't. She stuck her ground, and that's a beautiful thing. So with that, we're going to do a song, a Jingle Dress song, and it's a healing song. So we're going to ask for that healing, for all those things, all the work that she did, working with the people, working with the community, or just being the people and being the community is a thing. It's such a great thing. Because you don't, it's just like, I have this saying, you walk into a door or you don't walk into a door. You have that choice. You can walk into the market or not walk into the market. You made that choice. You guys have stuck that out so long and so well, so proud to see people. When I come down here, I've been here in years, so I still see people. And that's such a great thing. Hopefully that never goes away. And you know, I'm sure it's been tried so many times. I've seen living here before too, and so ask for those blessings and those healing thoughts for Barbette. She doesn't have to carry that pain and suffering that she had for a lot of people. She carried that for a lot of people because she cared so much. Every day she used to come. During COVID, I worked in a COVID van doing the vaccines. She would always come and get the vaccine because she knew her immune system wasn't strong. So she didn't want to get anybody sick. That was the thing. She didn't want to get anybody sick. And she'd every other week I would see her, no matter what. And that was actually a blessing for me. I got to see somebody I love and care about. So I was really appreciative of that. So with that, we're going to do a Jingle Dress song.
Is your name Mary? Okay, no, all right. Oh, sorry. You just look like somebody I know called Mary. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I'm going deaf. Yeah, all of them.
Blind, deaf, can't walk.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt your texting.
I thought you were talking to Trudy.
It was hard to tell.
Melanie Brown. She grew up here in Toronto, and she's part of the Four Feathers dance troupe that was created out of South Riverdale, and we're very proud of it. That people that have abused substances and have been on the street, have done sex work, have done couch surfing, however it is, people living a lifestyle is opposite of what the norm would think. And that's the thing, we want to take that away. The norm is not everything. There's so much ways we can live. I could never live that way. I practice and live a harm reduction lifestyle, and that's really important to me. And before it was taught to me what that word harm reduction was, I lived that life as an Indigenous person, as a person in this community. And you see on her dress, she has those silver cones. There's 365 cones on that dress, and that represents every day of the year. So every day is important to us. Every day is sacred to us. Every day we'll be together as one, as long as we dance with that heartbeat, with that understanding, and with that beauty of that drum, our heartbeat, our mother of our people, and knowing that we will always carry that on by things like this. Barbette, always carry on Barbette's legacy. This won't stop. This will keep on going. She brought something to you. She gave something to you. She's giving you something to you right now. With all these people you heard speak earlier, it was so beautiful. You heard the music earlier, beautiful. That's something that she's given you. These are all gifts from Barbette. So remember that. Barbette is right here with us, giving us so much. And I heard that there's word about a memorial mural putting up for her. So hopefully we get to see that, and that would be a great thing. So right now we're going to do an honor song for Barbette. And this is different than the last song we sang. It's an honor song. It's that now we're paying respect for her,
for what she's done and who she is, and we're thankful. Being thankful for her being in our community. So I want to say we watch for that, and we're going to be doing 2 more songs here, and we'll be eating here. So don't go anywhere. So right now we'll do that honor song. The grass dancer is somebody that when they dance, you see the flow of the wind and the grass flowing around in different directions. But when you look at a blade of grass, they're all the same. This shows that we have different paths, different ways to go in life. And that's a key thing for us there. So we're gonna have Dan dance in here. It's a very small area for Dan to dance. Yeah? Okay, we'll do that. Yeah. We're gonna do that, guys. He's gonna dance on the road.
Yeah.
I'll try right here. Might be a little bit more room.
Will Meadows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
What after these 2:30?
David. You know, we're gonna get
All right, go. Watch out. Styles of dances that we have was way back from the areas, and we on adult we see those eagle feathers, porcupine hair, on all that paintwork that's significant, and all those things that he built that outfit himself, and something that's really proud to keep our culture strong. Dan, as first and knows his language, his
Hey, buddy. Okay, good to see you. Got a name for you. Free Blind Mike. Everybody remember him?
You want one? This is a traveling song. This is a traveling song for Barbette in South London.
I know, I've got them before. It's just taking Say that for a certain like and you no longer choose. You have a choice how you want it. I'm going to have left done. I'm going to
Like the same elementary school.
Hey, how are you? Yes, still holding down the That was a beautiful thing.
First Nation. Oh, she was
inside, or else that would have
and your memory.
I still have one. You know, showing my
When I worked at the women's showing you.
if it ain't broken, don't need to throw it
Hi.
The name's Ken.
You're sure now?
Yeah.
You're sure? You're positive?
Sure. How are you doing?
You guys sure get around. You must be exhausted.
I am.
How do you keep up?
We're toning it down a little now. Yeah, because we live out on the beach now, we're spending more time down at the water. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like being in the cottage, like in the country every day.
Yeah.
Up at 6 and take a look at sunsets.
I know.
Sunrises, I mean. She's dragging me out of bed. I gotta go to work. I don't care. She takes about 500 photos a day. How do you keep up?
But you love her.
Oh, yeah. Because you haven't looked at saw my post yet. I go, which one?
Yeah. Of which?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I got it. You need somebody. You want to take somebody's arm? Is that it? Take it over there? Yeah. Now that yes. Yeah, oh, okay.
Get your ass
Thank you, Les. That was amazing. I want to take a moment before we go any further to thank Lola for putting this on. Specifically, and I'm a little biased on this front, the new owner, Corey, who's freaking awesome, and there was not a second of hesitation because she loves Barbette and Barbette loved her, and yeah, we'll do this here if we need to, and I'm glad we did. I also want to thank her staff, Carrie, who's in the kitchen, Liz, who was in the kitchen earlier, Lorin, who's bartending, no easy job with this kind of crowd, and Mark, who will also be bartending in a little bit. So thank you to them. Oh, and also Brad, who's the sound guy, who's awesome, Brad Scott. So I want to thank all them for helping us out with this. And we have food. Magnus from Rasta Pasta has donated a ton of awesome food. Complimentary. It was Barbette's favorite restaurant in the market. And what's that? True, maybe next to Powwow. That's a fair point. A solid number 2. Yes, true. Not going to debate that. And Lola itself has donated a lot of food. Once again, complimentary. And Tom, otherwise known as Tommy Cheesecake, has brought us a whole ton of mini cheesecakes. So thank you guys for doing all that. The food is in the back room, so there's a lot of people here, but if we can make our way, sort of, let other people go in, grab some food, enjoy, and pretty shortly, the Mad Housewives are gonna play. They're Barbette's, told me a few times, absolutely one of her favorite local bands. We're really excited to have them here too. So grab some food, and they're gonna play just back here, okay?
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say, I put together a little book of Barbette. It's just Barbette with hats and rings and fresh air tours. These books are not for sale here, but if you would like to order one, there's cards on the bar you can grab and get a link. Part of the proceeds will go to the Kitty Pants Fund if you purchase a book. That's it. Thanks.
One more thing, there's a whole ton of scarves and belts and stuff. Some of you might know Barbette liked to shop and collect things, and she couldn't throw anything out. Everybody come in and pick an item, something that's meaningful to you. It's a physical memento of Barbette. Okay? Thank you.
Sorry I never met her, but I certainly heard about her.
Oh, she was a very special lady. I knew her like back in the village, and then we ran into each other again.